Sandy Krebs, but you can call me Chef Viva Vegana. In these videos, I'll be sharing with you how anyone can make delicious vegan food. So, let's cook. Chef Viva Vegana here. Today I'd like to share my recipe for fragrant brown basmati rice with you. So, let's cook. The only difference between brown rice and white rice of any variety, whether you're talking about long grain, short grain, or any type of rice, is that the bran, the germ, and the endosperm has been removed, and that's what creates a white rice. It also removes all of the fiber and nutritional benefits and leaves you with empty calories from carbohydrates if you're eating white rice. So there's not a single recipe that I have ever encountered for rice that you can't substitute brown rice instead of white rice. Of course, the cooking time will increase, but that's really the only difference. So let's jump into the recipe. We're going to start off by turning on the saute function and then adding about 1 tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil. To that, we'll add 1 teaspoon of cumin seeds, 1 approximately 3-inch piece of cinnamon stick, 3 cloves, and 1 finely sliced onion. We're going to saute all of this together until the onion is very brown. That'll take over 5 minutes for sure. At first, you don't have to stir it very often, but as you're getting the onion more and more brown, you'll want to stir it more often to keep the onion from sticking to the bottom of the pan. You can do this exact same thing on the stove top in a pot with a good tight fitting lid. The only difference is going to be in the amount of water you'll use and the cooking time. While the onion is sauteing, we're going to go ahead and rinse the basmati rice. We'll just set that aside while we're finishing sauteing the onion. A lot of recipes for basmati rice call for soaking the rice. I don't do that. I think that you get plenty of the starch off as you're rinsing it this way. We're checking back in on the onions and cumin seed, clove, and cinnamon stick that's sauteing. Starting to get some nice color on it here, but we want all of the onion very brown before we put in the water and salt and rice. So we're gonna let this keep cooking for a couple more minutes. Okay, I think those onions are nice and brown and have a lot of caramelization on them, so we can go ahead and turn off the saute function. We just hit cancel. Then we're going to hit the pressure cook. Give it 22 minutes. and we can turn off the keep warm function. We're going to add 2 cups of brown basmati rice and 2.5 cups of water. And the last thing we're gonna do is add a teaspoon of salt. I'm gonna go ahead and give that a good stir. We'll put the lid on, and we want to make sure that the lid is on sealing, not venting. And we're going to let it cook for 22 minutes. As I mentioned before, if you're cooking this on the stove top, the rice to water ratio changes. It's 1 cup rice to 2 cups water. So in this recipe that we're using 2 cups of rice, you'd be using 4 cups of water. All of the other ingredients would remain the same. 1 onion, 1 teaspoon cumin seed, 1 teaspoon salt, the 3 cloves and 3-inch piece of cinnamon stick would all remain the same. When you're cooking this on the stove top, after the onion is all browned, you'll be adding in the rice just like you did in the Instant Pot. Then you add in the water and the salt, and you'll bring it to a simmer. Then put on the lid and turn the stove down to the very lowest setting. You'll then cook it for 40 minutes instead of 22 like you're doing it in the Instant Pot. So after the 40 minutes of cooking on the stove top, you'll just take the lid off, fluff up the rice a little bit, and it's ready to eat. The 22 minutes is up, so we can go ahead and just unplug this now, and we're gonna set a timer for 10 minutes. You can see this valve is up. It still has a lot of pressure in there. So after the 10 minutes, we're gonna change it to the quick venting setting and get rid of the rest of the pressure that way, but that's only after 10 minutes. Okay, it's been 10 minutes now, so we're going to turn this valve over to the quick venting. Be sure and keep all of your body parts out of the way of the steam so you don't get burnt. That took just a couple of minutes. Most of the pressure had already dissipated in the 10 minutes of letting it naturally dissipate. This smells so delicious. You don't want to eat the cloves or the cinnamon stick, obviously, but you don't have to necessarily pick them out of there. Just make sure that your guests know that they shouldn't be eating the piece of clove if they get it on their plate. And there you have it. I hope you liked this recipe for fragrant brown basmati rice. I hope you'll like and share the video, and I hope you'll subscribe to my YouTube channel. So until next time, let's cook.